Hey, Lionheart. I am Robyn-Ann. I am a life coach to Kingdom Woman, and I'm excited for you to be here. So, today I wanted to really tap into 3 affirmations that you can use to really help if you feel like you're just reliving your past, right? And so, why does that tend to happen? I know a lot of times our brain just is gonna always look at what has happened so far to try to predict our future, right? So, without even realizing it, we subconsciously tend to just be pulling all this data from our past and trying to utilize it to recreate the future. But what we don't happen is because we're using old data, we're creating and repeating the past with that same information, right? It's outdated information, it's past. And so I really love when we look at Jesus in the Bible, how he loves to make people's past completely irrelevant, and why it's so key that we cannot depend on utilizing the information that we have from our past or from things we've experienced or lived to try to utilize that to design or predict our future, right? Whether it's with Peter, we saw that they were fishing all night, came up with nothing. They were really weary, they were really tired, they were really, just kind of broke about it. And for God to just come again and say, cast your net on the other side, right? And we just see where even if you've been trying, for example, with business or, just any idea or venture and it hasn't been working, it's been failing, that doesn't mean that that past is your future. A lot of times where you're struggling is actually going to be the very area God uses to create a testimony and to really create something transformative and powerful. But if you look at the struggles that you've been having, you will completely tell yourself the opposite, right? And you'll start to predict and create this future of, well, I guess this is not for me, or I'm not called to this. And that's not true. So Gideon, just because you've been hiding in a wine press all your life, does not mean that you are not the mighty man, mighty, woman of valor that God says you are. So I wanted to really just share these 3 shifts in your mindset that really helped me and helps my clients to really reframe the mind and design some new beliefs that you can now use for your brain to build out a better blueprint of how to, continue creating a future that is different, continue to create that fresh expectation with God being the guide, not your past. So the first one is, my past is not prophetic. My past is not prophetic. Say it with me. My past is not prophetic. It's not. No matter how much it wants to constantly, try to shout, it feels like sometimes, at what is going to happen to you. And we get so anxious, so worked up, so worrisome over what we feel is going to happen because that's what's been happening in the past. You don't have to accept that, and you have to reject it. Actually, you must, right? We know God is a God of completely changing futures, like I said. And so that's something you may want to constantly, just be journaling about, reminding yourself about. My past is not prophetic, and I only listen to the prophecies and the promises that God has given me in his word, or that align with his word. Anything is possible with God, okay? So we must continue to believe, because yes, God has more for us, but if you're letting your past be the one that shapes your decisions and shapes your expectation and shapes your perspective, it doesn't matter how much you are praying, you will not see change, most likely, okay? So my past is not prophetic. But just because your past is not prophetic, number 2, it doesn't mean that you're automatically going to step into the future God has, right? So a lot of times we need fresh tools. So number 2 is that what got me here won't get me there. You want to definitely become aware that, okay, I may have used something successfully even to get to where I am today, but that doesn't mean it's going to take me to the next level. And so you want to make sure you're asking Holy Spirit for new encounters, new tools, new assets, new resources, new divine encounters, new people, new mentors that can help take you to that next level. He typically always uses people. And so go ahead and be more open. Don't be, like the culture that's like no new friends, or, we tend to just be so clicked into who we know, who we're comfortable with. That cannot work with God, because he loves to use new relationships to develop us into the newer version of ourselves that it's going to take for the next level. Okay, so ask him, whether that's a coach, a mentor at your church, some accountability partners that are fresh, a new community of people who, like we mentioned, if it is business, you may just need some fresh business eyes, people who are able to think at a higher level, or even just to help you shift from how can I get this done to who can help me get this done. Sometimes it's just a person that's gonna help come in and do what you think is so impossible, and for them it's easy because that's their gift. That's where they're talented. And so get some fresh eyes, get some fresh people in your life who can help take you to that next level, because what got you here definitely cannot take you there. Okay, and then the third thing, as I forget, look at my notes, is heaven will not hijack your free will. So yes, your past is not prophetic. Whew, thank God. And yes, what got you here won't get you there. Thank God he can provide some fresh insight on that, but also you will still need to be the one who takes that step. So I know so many times we think if it's for us, it's just automatically going to happen, but heaven is not going to take over and really, try to take us to that place. That's why courage and confidence is so key with God. Joshua 1:9, where he commands us, have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous, because I'm calling you. So you want to make sure you also pray, not just for confirmation. We like to pray for confirmation, but start to pray for the courage to take action, even if there's no confirmation, even if it's unclear, because typically with God, he may call you to step out because he said, no, that was my voice. That's not something you or the devil would ask you to do, right? And so a lot of times he may not give that confirmation, that second, third, fourth confirmation that we sometimes like to get. Yes, it's not bad to pray for it, but also obedience is still required from us. And that depends on our free will. Heaven is not going to hijack our free will to make us obey him. Okay, so pray for that courage to take that step, even if it seems a bit unclear, if all you feel like you have is just the next step, because a lot of times all you have is a light onto your feet, not a floodlight into your future. You only have enough to take that next step. And say, God, I'm going to confidently take this with you. Continue to order each step so that I don't get out of alignment with you. All right. So I hope these 3 affirmations kind of help you rewire your brain to say, you are not going to lead me or, just guide me where I relive my past. I am beyond that. My past is not my future. What got me here won't get me there. And I know that heaven won't hijack my free will. And so I am going to be the one to take bold action on my prayers and step into everything God has for me. All right. I can't wait to talk next week. And if you're looking for a mentor to really help you with these things, check out my mentorship program below in the description. Can't wait to talk.